Cold mornings, holiday plans. This is when I need my wardrobe to just work. That's why I'm all about Quince. Quince, they make it easy to look sharp, feel good, and find gifts that last. From Mongolian cashmere sweaters to Italian wool coats, Quince pieces are crafted from premium materials and built to hold up without the luxury markup. Let me tell you something. Mongolian cashmere sweaters for $50, Italian wool coats that look and feel designer, and denim and chinos that fit just right. Quince, it's the way to go. You can afford awesome looking clothes. You know what I call them? My husband clothes, because I look like a handsome husband. And also the down jacket I picked up from Quince is getting me through this cold weather out here in LA. Wah! It's warm, it's structured, and it looks way more expensive than it was. Get your wardrobe sorted and your gift list handled with Quince. Don't wait. Go to quince.com/morestories for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Woo! Now available in Canada too. Looking up at you, Great White North. That's Quince, Quince, quince.com/morestories, free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/morestories. Look how good I look, Kyle.
You look great.
Oh, yeah. Time for a Lucy break. Lucy Breakers, 100% nicotine, always tobacco-free. When do I use my Lucy? Whenever I want, really. Whenever I want some good mint flavor, because that's my favorite flavor is the Lucy Mint. These are 12 milligrams, people. Get together with me in enjoying these Lucy Breakers. Level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. I said that like Harvey Keitel. Let's level up your Lucy nicotine routine. Promo code J, J-A-Y. You're going to go to lucy.co/JAY and you get 20% off your first order. Lucy.co/J. Enjoy your Lucy Breaker. Thank you, Lucy, for sponsoring this podcast. And here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. So don't try to cheat it. Warning, this product contains nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical.
When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Okay, I just want to ask a question because you don't play fair. So I would imagine half of your audience are lovely females.
No.
And so let me
What, did I say
finish
something?
my tirade.
I said that out loud?
Before I get too tirade. Are you writing all this down?
There you go. Let me get it.
So all the chicks are watching, and I'm kind of a big deal, but they see that Pomeranian on your lap, and I'm done.
Put her in your lap.
Don't start something you're not going to finish. Oh, my God.
She's usually in the guest's lap,
my
but I didn't know how you felt about it.
Oh, my.
And if you stop petting her, she commits suicide. She throws herself backwards off the chair. What'd you do this weekend?
What do you have in mind?
No, the one that already passed. I'm late. I don't have a time machine.
This past weekend?
People don't know how funny Gene is. Gene is,
I
you're like
am
a bush, but you are
fucking
definitely,
joke.
that's the Haifa Israel in you.
Ooh,
It's
I
in
bet
your
you're saying that
bones.
to all the kikes. Are you?
Jesus.
He also.
Yeah.
He's a
King of.
You probably don't know that Jesus, one of our guys, rabbi and all that.
Yeah.
Yesu ben Yosef, that's his given name.
Okay.
So what, Gene? Do you know why all the chicks love him? Well, he's hung like this.
Oh my!
Jay,
I like Jesus plays golf with the disciples, and his tee shot, he hits it, and it goes like straight up in the air, hits a bird, bounces off a turtle's back, goes on another bird's back. The bird goes sideways, it falls in the hole, and Peter goes, "Are you gonna fuck around? Or are you gonna play golf?"
That's very good.
I know you're a big joke guy. You like jokes.
And then you die.
Well, we're all gonna die,
That-
but
that-
you're gonna live forever. All this fucking Kiss merch. Do you have a Kiss
Satan
coffin?
is the answer I keep. Oh,
Do you have a Kiss coffin?
Yeah, we have literally 10,000 items. We have Kiss condoms. We have Kiss caskets. We'll get you coming and we'll get you going. Oh, goddamn!
You really are like what Colonel Parker wanted to be.
I do an impression of Colonel Parker.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll see it.
Yes. Oh, you're a hack. I love it.
Look at this.
So what did you do this weekend? Where were you? Like, what's the weekend to Gene Simmons?
This Kiss juggernaut. I mean, it grew so way beyond anything. $1 billion. And there's a wonderful company. They are visionaries, futurists. They're called Pop House, and they're the guys that put on the ABBA show, which was future technology. You'll swear you can see the hair moving, and they're on stage. This is outside of London. So they approached us, I don't know, almost 2 years ago, about buying us. Yeah, the makeup, the copyrights, everything, and we sold.
What was the actual? Can you say what the actual price was?
Well, we sold with the proviso that we don't just want to count the dust particles, with Mother Nature and stuff. We want to be the caterpillar that goes into the cocoon and then the end of the touring Kiss, because we're no longer touring as Kiss with the makeup and the big shows, and that the future would be even bigger. So how do you get bigger when you got the biggest schlong on the block?
Yeah.
Technology has advanced in ways that, I don't know if you've been to Vegas and been at the Sphere.
Yeah, I saw you too there. I was
Which
pretty
can
impressed.
blow you away.
I thought I was on mushrooms.
Yeah. I've never been high, so I never know what you drug guys talk about.
Yeah.
Never been drunk, never been high, I don't smoke. So when you guys go, yeah, when I went to Hawaii, I had Havis Oversack. What's that? Hayahusha Hama Hama?
Hayahusha Hasha.
The fuck kind of name is that?
But the Sphere, you're going to stay on target here. The Sphere,
Yeah.
but the Kiss thing.
So when you go to the Sphere, if it's U2, a great band and everything, they'll be overshadowed by the imagery. You won't even look at the band because you'll do that. The imagery is so amazing. It's all around you. On the other hand, if you go see Wizard of Oz, when the tornado starts, the wind hits you and the flying gorillas, there actually are guys in suits, flying gorillas over your head. So it's reality and all that, which will blow you away. So we're doing something. I don't know if I can talk about it. Let's just say in the next 2 years, seeing is going to be believing, but even that, it's experiencing. Imagine a caveman like Iceman. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine that guy who doesn't have speaking skills. Somebody puts on virtual reality glasses on him, and the world disappears over, under, sideways, down, and he just flips out. So imagine that reality without glasses.
Mm.
It's like nothing that anybody's experienced before. So that's as much as I can say about
When
it.
you mentioned Wizard of Oz with the wind and the flying monkeys, it's almost like we're at Brave New World when they, instead of the movies, they'd go to the feelies. Because you would like feel the emotion on the screen.
Yes,
we're getting closer and closer to that.
We are certainly
Are
that.
you into VR, virtual reality stuff?
Well, I'm of the people that gave you guys the 10 Commandments and the Bible and even the New Testament, all
I'm
that stuff.
circumcised.
So,
I'm down.
money. Anywhere there's money. Because even
Is that all you
God,
people think about?
well, even God passes the hat. I get in so much trouble when I tell the truth. What's your favorite city, Gene? And I go, how much? What do you mean? Don't you want to smell the flowers? I could do that here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your worst city probably, or maybe your favorite city might be Paris or some other place. And somebody offers you, I don't know, $1 million because you're Jay Mohr, to do stand up or sit down or lie down. See, I'm doing all the variations.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Antarctica, which I pronounced correctly, is going to give you $50 million or $100 million. Worst place to be. What's your favorite city?
Antarctica.
Is that all you think about is money?
Yeah, the
Yes.
biggest, by the way, trivia question, the biggest desert in the world is Antarctica. Nobody ever guesses that.
What is the trivia question?
What's the biggest desert in the world? It's Antarctica is the answer. But people think it's got to be hot to be a desert. It just has to have
But no
rain.
country. Oh, my God.
That's
another
Ellie
one.
Mae. That's the other one. No, don't do that. She's weird.
Oh, yeah.
You can do whatever you want. You're Gene. I'm going to tell you this. I'm wearing this shirt for a reason. 10-year-old me, my parents gave me money at Kmart or Caldor or one of those things, and I could buy.
Which city?
This was I grew up in Verona, New Jersey, so this was probably Wayne, New Jersey with the Willowbrook Mall. I was able to buy anything I wanted with that money. It was like a $10 bill. And I bought, at 10 years old, I got Kiss Love Gun on 8-track. And first of all, the cover art, you guys, as you can see, standing in front of Roman columns and just piles upon piles of black women, half dressed, crawling towards you.
Women dressed in black.
Yes. And they were black, they looked like to me. And I remember at 10 years old thinking, these guys are onto something. This is how I want to get down for the rest of my life. Hold on. And that opening track, I Stole Your Love, fucking game over, dude. Yeah. I remember the day that we met. I needed somebody. You needed somebody to
yeah.
Fuck, bro. You blew my mind. That was my first musical experience.
Did he plan all this before?
No, I can't wait to talk to you. Like, you guys really fucked my head up in the best way. I love your music. I love how you play bass.
You're very
like
kind.
Detroit Rock City, that little, like you do fill on the bass, like how guys would do it on the drums. And then I noticed the guitar copies you. Like
they're really like horn parts.
Yeah.
I'm not a trained player, so when you hear those riffs in those Kiss songs, I don't know, in Black Diamond, there's one. Sounds
like Chet Baker. Like it sounds.
I couldn't shine his shoes. By the way, for those of you idiots out there who've never heard of Chet Baker, even if you're not a jazz fan, even if you don't like trumpet, you have to listen to Baker's voice. One of the most beautiful.
I screen tested to play Chet Baker, and I don't know who got it, but it didn't really do well.
I saw the Baker film.
And I was, it's maybe one of the only, Jerry Maguire was up there, but it was one of the movies where I was nuts. Like, I have to play this guy. I was, 25. I didn't get it, obviously. I was like 25, 26. And Ethan Hawke?
That's right.
He's a great actor.
You're right. You're
He's
right.
a great actor. God bless him. But fuck you.
They soft-sold the amount of heroin he was doing.
Instead of getting, he couldn't play in the United States. He couldn't not get arrested, so he just wasted away in Holland.
He started losing his teeth. I think he jumped or fell out of a window.
Well, the story is it was only the second story maybe, and he got locked out. He climbed the wall, the drain pipe or trellis to get into his own apartment, fell backwards, and that was a wrap.
Even while I knew Miles in the because I'm old. How old are you?
55, same
76, bitch. I mean that in the nicest possible way.
no.
Like jail talk.
Yeah.
And when you talk to guys, who have passed on, Miles, those guys, they hardly ever point to pale-skinned guys. Baker was admired by everybody.
Well, wasn't it the phrasing? He wasn't a big like solo or how high can you play. It was just that like we're talking about with Kiss. The guitar parts
getting the emotion out of it. The way he played, and most people aren't qualified to hear the nuances or the old ounces. You see what I mean? But voices, and if it moves you vocally, you're just Billie Holiday, the greats.
You mentioned him losing his teeth, Chet Baker. You can hear. I went down a Chet Baker rabbit hole in my, late 20s, early 30s, maybe sooner. But when he loses his teeth and he just keeps putting out records for drug money, you can hear the difference in his voice.
That's a good point.
You don't know what love is. It's a very syllabate S.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. And he's one of the most beautiful looking men.
He was a great looking guy. Any chick, yeah.
Oklahoma, went to the Army.
And
every
what a
story.
Wanted to be with him and thought they could rescue him.
But he had his chick already, and that was the spike.
Yeah, that was his woman.
I used to cheat on my old lady with my drugs too. Oh, it was all I cared about,
I'm
Gene.
always curious about that because our own band went through it, some of the guys.
What,
Do
2
you
out of
mind
4?
that? Do you mind that bell ringing? Yeah, because that
No, but I'm
tells
gonna
you
turn the fan off in the babathroom. I don't know what kind of smells come out of your penis, Gene, when you pee.
the usual. On the other hand, what's Kiss without their fans?
Hey-o! I mean, what, 2 out of 4 guys you lose to?
Well, everybody seems to have been touched by that. My curiosity is as a straight guy, sexually, I'm really cornball square. Cake is my crack. That's it. I swallow.
Isn't crack your crack, though?
I've never. Well, yeah, I've been known to.
I mean,
I've been-
you're known as that. Did
Well,
you think maybe?
it's-
Hold on. Do you think maybe that is your actual addiction pre-Shannon, obviously?
Even admittedly, for the first 29 years of us being together, we've been together 42 years. We're now married, but for the first, we've been together 42 years. First 29 years, I was king asshole and arrogant, self-obsessed. Part of the. It's not a validation or an excuse, but when you live in a bakery 24 hours a day, it's tough to be on a diet. So
Yeah.
even the first 29 years, she stood by my sorry ass. We had 2 kids together. We lived together. But I was...
What changes in you that where you say, okay, I'm gonna, because you're like a legendary coxman. You're a handsome guy. You're a super talented guy, and like you said, you're in the bakery all the time. What changes in you where you go, you know what? I
Age.
want age.
Yeah, age. Women sort of get this notion that when they see a guy who's 6, 7 feet tall, whatever he is, with a hairy chest and a deep voice, that's a man. No, he's not. He's a horny 13-year-old kid who's going to jump on your mother when you're not looking. We have blood, but not enough blood for 2 heads. Once the blood goes to the other one, we make bad decisions.
Yeah.
Or as they say in the Bible, spread thy seed. So a lot of the guys just think they're doing the Lord's work.
Hey-o! What's your favorite book of the Bible? Do you have one?
Well, your people misunderstand and mislabel it because the Christian church wanted to denigrate it. There is no such thing as the Old Testament. I was a theology major. I read the Quran and all that.
What's this at
Before
Sullivan
G-
County Community College?
That was one of them. And then I became graduated, became a teacher in Spanish Harlem and all that. But here's a quick study for those of you that say, the Old Testament, there's no such book. There was never a book called Old Testament. Rabbi Yesu ben Yosef, Jesus, Christ is not his name, you know that. Mom and Dad were not Mr. and Mrs. Christ.
Joseph and Mary Christ.
No. That
Paging
comes
Joseph
it's
Christ.
Latin, Christo, which
Yeah.
means Messiah or King. It's a title like Dr. So-and-so.
Break it
That's why
down.
he's the Christ child or Christ Jesus. But at any rate, before Jesus was born in earthly form, what did you call the book? The New Testament wasn't written. So what did you call that book, the Old Testament? No, it was always called the Bible for thousands of years.
Yeah.
The Jews, because it came from Judea.
It's the Jewish Testament, really.
No, it was just, there's no testament. That's all Christian language.
I'm saying the separation between the 2 books is
One takes place over 33 years, the
Yeah.
birth, death, and or resurrection of
Yes.
Jesus. And all the apostles, of course, were Jews. Everybody that wrote it, they were all Jews. There was no such thing as Christianity.
Right.
All the apostles, John and Paul and George and Ringo, of course.
Stop. I'm with you. Stop doing takes.
Yeah,
Stay here.
Gotta keep it up. So people read it and they go, there was a Jewish rabbi on Passover. He had matzah and all that stuff, and they were Jews, slightly separated from the mainstream. They were called Essene Jews, and all that stuff. But there was no such thing. The very first, and I was a student and studied Vatican papers, historical documents, and so on. No one, even though they were fairly anonymous, Luke and everybody else mentioned in the New Testament were alive during the time of Jesus. Not one. The earliest known written reference for a gospel, which means good news,
Yep.
was 70 to 80 years after the birth, death, and or resurrection of Jesus. And there was a guy named Caesar Constantine who noticed that there were differences between Eastern Orthodox and all that stuff. So he went to Constantinople, Istanbul, named after him, and he met with all the various heads, and they put together the different gospels. It's a book of short stories, really. Put together the
Like
gospels.
there's a leaf blower right outside my fucking door as you're telling the Bible. That guy's an anti-Semite for sure.
Yeah, but he goes to church and worships one of our guys. I win.
So what's your favorite book of the Bible?
Genesis.
You close it all the way, Kyle. Yeah? Well, it's got the hardest rap lyric before there was Abraham, I am. Like that's the hardest lyric I've ever heard. It switches tenses. Before there was, there is, I am.
Well, Jews have been
that.
known to mess with tenses and negotiate thereof because God, you're not allowed to pronounce God's name because it's do not take the name of thy Lord in vain. So actually using your vocal cords is bastardizing it. They, Jehovah's Witnesses is really kind of Yahweh. So that's bastardizing. The last breath you take when you exhale is supposed to be the name of God.
Yeah.
So there are no syllables.
First one in and the last one out. Your first breath.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now you got it. But even verbalizing it using your vocal cords bastardize. So when Jews refer to God, Baruch Hashem, blessed is the name. Hashem is the name. Ma Hashem Shalcha, what's your name? So they call him the name or Elohim.
And don't you guys dash out the O when you write
Well,
it?
in 1 second, Elohim is my Lord plural.
My lords.
Because the individual versus pluralism, there's no such thing, supposedly, if you're an eternal thing. So they refer to God as singular and plural because there's no... What was going to be your question?
You answered it. Favorite book of the Bible was Genesis. Final question.
By
Jim.
far. There was nothing and then everything. Kind of a big bang shortened.
I like the fact that, in John, is it John? In the beginning was the Word. Is that how John starts, right? And the Word was good. But the idea that before we were able to talk about it, there was the Word.
Well,
before there was a spoken...
specifically in the time.
I didn't think I'd be talking Bible and religiosity with Gene. This is great.
This is great. So the reason that's an important historical reference point is because the masses, almost without exception, were illiterate.
Yeah.
So it was a verbal world. You sat around the campfire or something and you told the story. There were very few people who could read and write. In fact, rabbi is not a religious symbol. Jesus is called either teacher or rabbi. Rabbi means teacher. There's no hierarchy in Judaism. You can't be excommunicated. There are no missionaries. Nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. It's a singular relationship with whatever you say. My favorite thing about Judaism, and I know you're all fond of your own religions, I'm not talking about religion and God. I'm talking about the idea of the premise of Judaism is simply you will be judged by your deeds, what you do, not what you believe. Christianity and Islam and all the other great religions, it's not what you do, it's what you believe. I am the way to my Father, Jesus, and so on. You could be Hitler per the New Testament. If you accept Christ as your Lord and Savior, really, you have a chance of being redeemed and going to heaven. Fuck that.
Yeah, it's got some holes in it.
So
to me.
if you wanted to become, if you want to marry a girl who's not Jewish and you're Jewish, he goes, well, my family won't let me because you're not Jewish. He says, okay, then I'll convert. He goes, no, don't do that. If she goes to the rabbi and says, I'd like to convert, his mandate religiously is to talk her out of it. Because that's
why all the mikvahs?
Because it doesn't matter who you believe or worship. God could give a fuck what you call that. In fact, why do you want to worship something that's eternal? You are the Lord. You're so great. There's nobody else. God is beside the point. It's humanism in its purest form, which is to say, if you're an Aborigine someplace, and I've never heard of white people, or if you're in the Amazon and you're just trying to get by and you worship a rock or don't worship anything at all, but you're kind.
Yeah.
You give food and you care about other people. You are doing God's work. Building edifices, big, the tallest, most expensive buildings are churches.
Yeah.
You think man-made structures are going to, yeah, you're in. Or before a football game, or any rapper that wins an award, thank you, Jesus. Fuck all the rest of them, but thank you for getting me the award. Every rapper gets up, or football guys, they go, I hope I get the touchdown. Fuck the other guys,
Remember comedian Jeff Stilson goes, I'm waiting for a guy after a game to go, yeah, we were winning until Jesus made me fumble. He hates our team. When I was in rehab, they showed us this YouTube video. This guy dies, and the angel says, I'm going to show you heaven and hell. I'll show you hell first. And it's a family. It's this huge banquet of food, this beautiful feast. And everyone's arms have like sticks attached to them, so they can't bend their arms, and they're starving because they can't eat. They can't feed themselves. And he's like, well, that's hell. And he goes, I'll show you heaven now. They go to another room, and it's the exact same banquet, exact same people, exact same stick arms, but they're feeding each other. That was heaven. Same scenario, just doing it differently, thinking of other people.
I thought it was going to be a joke.
No. You want a joke? Two gay guys are at home on a Friday night. And he says, what do you want to do tonight? He goes, let's play hide and seek. He goes, what are you, 5 years old? It's stupid.
Are you going to get me in trouble again?
No, he goes, I'll tell you what, we'll play hide and seek. If you find me, I'll suck your cock. And he goes, well, what if I don't find you? He goes, I'll be behind the couch. It's my favorite joke.
Or more specifically, how can you tell if your roommate's gay? Well, if his dick tastes like shit, it's probably a good indication.
That's a good indication. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp, my friends. Look, it's holiday season. Why not start a new tradition, taking care of your health up in your brain? That's what I'm doing. Look, I can go to the doctor and get antibiotics. I can get throat lozenges. But you know what? What am I doing for my mental? I'm going to BetterHelp, H-E-L-P, BetterHelp.com. Over 30,000 therapists for you to choose from. They do initial matchmaking work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals, and a little tiny questionnaire to help you identify your needs and preferences. And that's why I go to BetterHelp.com, H-E-L-P. Take care of yourself. Unlock the best you possible. Use the promo code MORESTORIES, MOHRSTORIES. More Stories is the promo code for 10% off. Take care of yourself. You deserve it. You're always making everybody else happy. Make you happy now. BetterHelp.com/morestories. Do it, my friends. You'll thank me later. Oh, yeah. Time for a Lucy break. Lucy Breakers, 100% nicotine, always tobacco free. When do I use my Lucy? Whenever I want, really. Whenever I want some good mint flavor, because that's my favorite flavor is the Lucy Mint. These are 12 milligrams, people. Get together with me in enjoying these Lucy Breakers. Level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. I said that like Harvey Keitel. Let's level up your Lucy nicotine routine. Promo code J, J-A-Y. You're going to go to lucy.co/JAY and you get 20% off your first order. Lucy.co/J. Enjoy your Lucy Breaker. Thank you, Lucy, for sponsoring this podcast. And here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. So don't try to cheat it. Warning, this product contains nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Oh, Hilton stay, your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay, our holiday you're saving.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. This season, enjoy spacious, comfortable rooms and friendly service when you book with Hilton instead. Hilton for the stay.
My grandfather said this to me a lot. He said, "You can tell a lot by a man by his children." Watching family jewel. I've never met them. I don't. Maybe once we met at like some restaurant hotel in San Diego. But your children are exceptional kids, and that says a lot about you. And
No,
family.
I'd like to say that it says a lot about Shannon.
Nah. That's a great whistle. You have great kids. Like, obviously, you are a man of character.
They are exceptional.
Yeah. And gorgeous kids.
Yeah. The son, Nick, is 6'8" and a half.
It's fucking crazy.
And Sophie, they're both very successful in the music world, having nothing to do with each other. She's in the pop world. She wrote for Train, and she produces and plays. She had the #1 Asian record, K-pop, that kind of thing. Hundreds of songs. Look up Sophie Simmons, and you'll see she's working now. I'm not allowed to say the biggest songwriter thing in the world, and that all those bells mean I'm kind of a big deal. And Nick Simmons and Evan Stanley, Paul Stanley's son, now have Stanley Simmons. And if you Google and schmoogle and go on YouTube, you'll be blown away. It's like modern Crosby, Stills, Nash stuff. Melodic, gorgeous music that they write, and somehow their voices blend.
They're great harmonizers, your kids.
Unbelievable.
How were you harmonizing in the studio? I don't know, I hear it on the records, but would you guys like stand around, the four of you, doing it at the same time?
No, you go layer by layer. So
Yeah.
Paul and I would do it together, figure out if it's a third, or I don't know if you're a musician, third or fifth, and whether it's a parallel harmony or whether or not it's... So if you go, do that. Okay, watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's a stepping stone. So there are parallels, which originally would be na 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 na, or you can straight note.
I just asked if you're a good harmonizer.
Yeah, you have to understand. Once you understand how harmonies work, then you can put your voice in the right area. But at any rate, it doesn't matter if you can harmonize or not. There's such a thing as blend. When you cook, cooks understand this. And sometimes it's what you put in first. So if you start with something hot, then you put in the salt and everything. Totally different taste than if you start with salty, pepper, and then put in the hot last, even though you mix it at the same time. So imagine, I don't know, Bob Dylan, who I'm a big fan of. And actually, Bob and I wrote some songs together. You can go on YouTube and put in Bob Dylan, Gene Simmons. You'll hear Waiting for the Morning Light. So if you put Bob's voice in Crosby, Stills, and Nash, it wouldn't work.
No.
Something about the timbre and the once upon a time, just so fine, the way something about, you've got to have that synergy, which is a big word like gymnasium. You have to think about these things.
Oh, people must jump out of the car on long car trips with you. I would love it. Am I crazy? My two favorite...
Wait, you asked a question, then you went with a paragraph.
Yeah, welcome.
So are you crazy?
My
Blue.
two favorite Dylan albums are the two Daniel Lanois produced ones, Oh Mercy and Time Out of Mind. The other ones it never got in me. Like how Kiss got in me, how Springsteen will get in me.
Something about your age, right thing at the right place in the right time.
Yeah.
And age, I'd respectfully submit, your doors of perception, Aldous Huxley, which is where the Doors got their name from. That's right.
Yep.
You're much more open, and so you're emotionally affected by something first, not the logic of it. So whether it's Lenny Kravitz or somebody else, when you're 13, you go, oh, Kiss. Well, how old were you with Kiss? 10.
10.
Yeah, but then you moved on to Springsteen and so on.
Chet
but if
Baker
you were
and Miles Davis.
Baker, so at 10 years old,
Coltrane.
you wouldn't be open to Coltrane and stuff. So depending on how old you are. So what I'm getting at is with Bob Dylan, positively 4th Street and all that stuff. If you were that certain age, I'd say 14, 15, and you wanted to separate yourself from the vestiges of the 50s, very conservative women were second-class citizens and
the good old days.
Before the pill and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And here comes this guy, the times they are a change. You go, what?
Yeah.
And you hear those words with the melody, and all those things, combining the Sturm und Angst with the umlaut on top of the U, the angst and the inner turmoil of a young person right at the crux of the civil rights movement, the pill, with women finally freeing their sexuality and saying, you know what? I like to fuck just like the guys do. I don't necessarily want 2.5 kids and stay at home and kill myself with pills. Maybe I want to just enjoy life for a while. That never happened before, except on the island of Lesbos, which is a real one, which is where lesbians came from. Did you know that?
Is that in Greece?
Off an island. It is a real place where women were just happy.
Flannel shirts, WNBA. They just got after a lot of Melissa Etheridge.
I don't know how we segued into that, but
when you listen to the Beatles, do you gravitate towards Paul because he's a bassist, or do you have a favorite Beatle?
I can't do that because at different points in my life, first of all, they changed my life.
Yeah.
There's so many of us who, if you were of that age, 13, 14, 15, you heard the Beatles, it was like somebody took a 2x4 and just smacked you in the back of the head. I always worked, so I must have been 13, and Sunday night, I think it was, at Sullivan's show, watched by half the entire population of America.
That's crazy.
And I came, that's crazy. Crazy.
I think the only thing that came close is probably the O.J. car chase, which shows how we've come as a society. The only thing that's come close to that kind of viewership.
The Beatles, yeah.
Is
well,
the
at
juice
that point,
getting chased by LAPD.
Population was, and by the way, my wifey did a show with O.J. called First and 10. She played,
on HBO.
She was the team owner, and he was, in fact, she later told me what O.J. said to his wife as he was slitting her throat.
Mm-hmm.
He said, your waiter will be joining you shortly.
Mm.
So you got to think about that one.
No, I got it.
But he was kind
juice.
and everything. So I forgot where I was going with this.
Beatles, do you have a favorite Beatle?
Well, initially it was McCartney because of the melodies, and that bass playing is...
Underrated bass player.
Unequaled. Well, he was first a guitar player, likewise.
Lefty
so I don't play
bass.
bass the way Jamerson and Motown does it. By the way, underrated and hardly ever talked about is you think of Motown, and I used to live with Diana Ross, and she told me all the stuff, and I visited Hitsville, Motown. You think it's an all-black band that created the magic. Most of the time, yes. There was a woman named Carol Kay.
Yeah. She's still around.
A kike. Well, you can go on YouTube. I happen to be in the same place. The history of...
How many times we got to go on YouTube in this interview?
Well, I guess that's the validation area. I don't know. Used to be, go into your Funkin' Wagnalls. And so we're backstage, and for some reason they asked me to be the voice of the history of rap because I'm such an expert. So I'm there doing the thing, and Carol was there, a bass player, and the beat goes on. Oh, that's right. I went out with that chick too. So, boom, 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 boom. That's Carol.
Yeah,
she played on Sinatra, Nat King Cole, Beach Boys, everybody, but also on Motown Records. And you can find a video.
The Wrecking Crew, were they called?
Well, there was the Wrecking Crew,
right?
and
she was in the Wrecking Crew also.
She was there.
Yeah,
but also
Yeah, she
people
was the
would
Motown
take
go-to.
from
Yeah,
the wrecking crew.
yeah. She was
people
the
that
session lady you wanted for your
she
bass.
was way up there because her lines were more like a cello work than a string quartet. It's, usually bass players, da, 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 doo, doo, da, boom, 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 boom. You're tied in, or boom, 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 boom. You're tied in to the drums. She played sometimes offbeat, boom, 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 boom. So it made the track jump, and that's her on all kinds of things. And her bass melodies, because she started as a guitar player. She started playing, and one day they didn't have a bass player. She told me. Oh, anyway, you can go and watch the video where she's backstage, and I'm going, oh my God, I'm in a room with greatness, and she's a little woman.
Yeah.
And she used to be blonde and like just a little thing.
Yeah.
And she played with a pick, unlike the other bass players, which is why you could hear the bass on the records. At any rate, I said, I can't tell you what a big fan I am, and play me a lick. And she goes, boom, 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 and I'm pretty good. So I said, I got it. I just made it up. So I said, can I borrow the bass? She goes, of course. So I went, boom, and I was so proud of myself because I got every note right. And she said, no, that's horrible. I said, what do you mean? I played every note fairly in time, but she explained to me it's like saying, if you're a speechwriter, they teach you how to speak, public speaking. And you play that the way somebody would say, I just won the lottery and I cut your mother's head off and I think I've got to go take a shit, but I'm very happy. You're saying the right words there's no nuance, there's no subtlety, you're just hitting every note. By the way, don't take this out of context where I'm going, I cut your mother's head off
Too
and
late.
stuff. God damn.
Too late.
Social media. But she said, without the subtleties of how long a note lasts and how you clip it, and you don't hit every note you play with the same feeling, like acting.
Can you teach that subtlety? Is that something that can be taught, or does it have to be lived?
I believe it's part of both, which is you can go to acting school. I've been in a few movies. Michael Crichton was my first director.
I was hoping I was going to get some dirt on Grotus, your sitcom that never.
So people can learn generally how to act certain things, but the great ones understand like Sinatra with lyrics. You sort of understand what the weight of certain words.
I'm glad you said she was underrated because that's a bad woman, dude.
Oh my goodness!
I remember watching that Wrecking Crew documentary. I was like, this bitch is bad, dude. And she was, yeah. And you talk about Miles Davis not liking white guys. There's only like two, Bill Evans and Gil Evans. The pianist, Bill Evans, and what blows me away about Bill Evans is he hardly plays.
Yeah.
If you listen to Kind of Blue start to finish and just focus on the piano.
Yep. It's not how many notes. Actually, Clapton said it best. He said, the best solos are not how many notes you can put in. The best solos are knowing which notes to leave out.
A long time ago, not that long ago, Dave Grohl would travel to different towns and go with local musicians. And they got with, I don't know where they were, but they were with Joe Walsh. And they're like, oh, I love Joe. Oh, fucking James Gang.
Still has it. I've heard him jam and everything.
So they gave a solo to him. And him and Taylor Hawkins are sitting on the ground with headphones on, and they look like little kids. And Joe Walsh is on a piano bench, but he's not playing. And they're waiting, and they're like, is he getting senile? Because he just kept not playing in this where they allotted his, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, just, yeah, and he's off and running. And they're like, the wizard got us. The wizard totally tricked us.
If you're playing with your fingers without the emotion attached, which is why some of the great players close their eyes and get into, that thing, then it's just notes.
You think that was Mick Taylor's demise with the Stones? He could really play,
self-destructed. He couldn't put up with the touring thing. I mean, I know enough about that stuff. touring is tough.
Buddy, I just got out this year.
Yeah, but you don't have to get along with anybody. Once you go to your room, you're done. Marriage is tough. Having brothers and sisters is tough.
I can't imagine having 3 other guys my happiness depends on a bus, on
That's
a plane,
right.
in a hotel.
You're with each other every day. You travel together. You
Who was the biggest pain in the ass on the road?
me.
Really?
I would say I.
But you seem very professional. Like the trains run on time when.
Well,
Gene's in
that's
charge.
true. Yeah, I'm
And that
always.
Ace seems like a guy.
I was here early, but there was no parking, so I called my 2 PR people who didn't answer the phone.
Kyle should have told you could park right behind the building here. I'm the HOA parking guy. It's my new responsibility. And
Well, now I know.
yeah, you come back. You do it again.
But I'm really impressed by this thing. But yes, I'm on time. I pride not because I have to be. Look at that. Look at that. I make a good living. Look at that.
She's the star of every episode, and she loves her cheeks pinched. You ever been to an escape room? Do you like escape rooms?
What is escape room?
Oh, you don't know what it is?
No.
It's you go
Are
for
we in one now?
No, there's the door. You leave whenever. Hopefully not yet. It's like a big. It's a room with. You can't get on. You can't get out of the room unless you solve a mystery, like a puzzle.
Oh, like Saw.
Yeah, without the gore. Yeah. All right. Who's your favorite Muppet? Do you have a favorite Muppet?
Muppet?
Yeah.
Ralph, the original Muppet on the Jimmy Dean
3
show.
Ralphs in a row, including myself. Oh my! How about who just said Ralph? Jeff Pearlman? Another one.
Well,
of
I
yours.
remember the Jimmy Dean show, and as a kid, I didn't care about. Quick, give me Jimmy Dean's biggest hit.
I don't know. Sausage.
Big Bad John, Big John, Big John. And before there was rap and anything, it was a talking song.
Oh, okay.
It was Down in the Valley. You should put that on. Still great. That's
Can't pay
before
for it.
Lauren Green had Ringo about a cowboy. They all started to have talking songs after Big Bad John by Jimmy Dean. And before he had sausages and breakfast stuff, Jimmy
That's
Dean.
the same guy?
Same guy.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought I was making a great
the
joke.
Muppets, Jim Henson, got their start on the Jimmy Dean Show, ABC Friday nights, 7:30. Ralph the Muppet. You better come out, with his ears flopping.
Yeah.
By far the best because he
The
had
human
enough
arms.
space to be like being in a band. They all fight for some of that oxygen. And in movies, too, actors try to steal scenes. But when you're on your own, like I admire stand-up, where you go there and it's all you. You live or you die because you've got all the oxygen. So at least Ralph the Muppet had room
Yeah.
to be, a real Muppet.
Was it Jeff Pearlman said he was watching a Muppet movie and Rolf goes, when he's on the road, he goes, I take myself for a walk and then I just go to bed. It just cracked him up.
That's great.
Which Kiss merch surprised you by how well it did, and which one did you lose the most money on?
Kiss air guitars. I'm sorry, Kiss air guitar strings. I invite all you knuckleheads to press buttons because fucking life is. You're
Wait,
just,
Kiss air guitar strings?
Yeah, when you go on YouTube or SmoothTube, all that idiotic stuff.
And while
you
you're there,
put
hit
in
subscribe
Kiss
to
air
more
guitar
stories.
strings. You see the beautiful logo, on the Kiss, a great photo, and then the plastic. Go ahead, pull it up. Then you see the plastic, and you can tell everybody, Kiss air guitar strings, tell everybody what you see when you get a close-up.
Oh, how Kiss made millions from air guitar strings.
Oh, I didn't even know about that, but we make
And it's
millions.
literally an empty bag. You're a genius.
Well, what is an air guitar string except
Oh, so you made a lot on that? That
You-
did better than you thought?
somebody made billions on pet rocks?
What?
Wait.
Sorry.
What's coming is the Kiss air guitar. You're going to get the guitar case, the Kiss logo. You open it up, and there's a Kiss guitar strap. You'll have Kiss picks, some unopened Kiss air guitar strings, and nothing because it's an air guitar.
Does part of you think is there a carnival barker in you that thinks you're dealing with rubes, or is it like, do you just enjoy the celebration of all things
I
Kiss?
believe in the notion of full disclosure before the fact. It is actually called air guitar strings. It's not called guitar strings.
Hey, what investment have you lost the most money on? Like the arena football team, did that drain you?
No, I got paid. You
Okay.
have to know when to go in and when to get out. We owned an arena football team called LA Kiss,
Amazing.
and I arranged for a reality show on A&E about the making of and all that. And the problem with the arena football team, like sometimes the problem is when I did marketing for IndyCar. I'm the guy that came up with IndyCar before it was IRL and I Am Indy and all that. Is fiefdoms. Each team, each city is only looking out for themselves, really.
Yes.
The team owner wants to make the money, and there's no sort of... Imagine the United States of America if there weren't federal laws where each state was making its own laws no matter what the other state was doing. There's some of that, but you got to have some unity. Otherwise, the same currency isn't being used and so on. So every football team, there is the NFL, the National Football League.
That's the federal.
That's the federal.
Right,
yes.
gotcha.
And then within that, you can have some wiggle room. I don't know how we got onto this, but Jesus was...
Speaking of team owners.
Chemo?
Team owners.
Team owners.
My wife and you met, I think, at an LA Kings game, and she was with her friend Stacy, and Stacy wanted your gum so she could sell it. And last night at dinner, my wife showed me a picture from 2014 of you, like spitting the gum out into Stacy's hand.
Jay, it's my job. I would stick my tongue out, but the floor is dirty.
No, it's not.
You licked it?
No, it's. Do you So what lost the most money? What have you ever like taken a bath on where you're like, Jesus Christ?
No, I don't know how to say this without self-aggrandizement and other big words. We never lost.
That's great.
Our worst day or worst year would have been any other band's or company's best years.
That's great.
Because if you're going to build a skyscraper, put all your effort and due diligence and kick the tires in the basement and the first floor, because all the other floors that go on top of it depend on the strength and the solid base of it. That holds everything that goes up 50 stories right there at the bottom. And people don't pay attention to that. There was a Kiss before Kiss. Did you know that?
No.
They put out records. Yeah. They just never trademarked themselves. So you get bupkis. That's a Jew word which means you snooze, you lose. You have to do due diligence. First trademark. Nowadays, get the URL, trademark, get good lawyers, Jewish lawyers. I sneezed. Jew. And you've got to do the right thing before you go out there.
Mazel.
What's 12 inches in Jewish?
What?
Nothing.
How many Frenchmen does it take to defend Paris?
Oh, I can imagine.
It's not known.
No, yeah.
The Kiss, you were admiring the Bad Brains photo of HR in the air.
Bad Brains, most people don't know about.
Oh.
The stage is a holy place. Don't get up there if you don't have a personal, I don't know how to say this, point of view. There's already a Rolling Stones, there's already a whatever it is. And if that's what your template is, and I'm going to reproduce that, you're going to be a second. It's okay. You can make a good living. There's a great Italian restaurant open next door, do Italian food. Fine. Bad Brains was like black soul punk alternative.
Yeah.
The energy level was insane.
Unmatched. unmatched. And in '82, it was from another planet. But the one photo missing from here that hasn't come in yet because the studio's new was you guys, Kiss, maybe my favorite rock and roll photo of all time, standing in Manhattan wearing suits. That to me, do you remember that photo shoot?
Sure.
Whose idea was that?
The third record, and somehow the title Dress to Kill came up, and then some genius said, well, let's do suits and ties and be on 23rd Street, a few blocks away from where we formed, 10 East 23rd Street, in a rat-infested fire trap. And we did this in broad daylight, and I didn't have a suit, so I borrowed our manager's suit. So it was, the sleeves were like this, because I'm 6'2", and I didn't have dress-up shoes, so I borrowed Ace's clogs.
Yeah, you do have white clogs on.
I looked like, an idiot. But
no, you look great.
That's right. I looked
did you
great.
like the idea? Did you push back at all?
No, in those days, you just dive into the deep end of the pool.
It's such an iconic photo.
Because you're on a roller coaster ride. You have to understand, before even voicemail, there's no MTV, there's nothing. People are still rotaring. There's no push button stuff. Superman still had to go into the phone booth to fly through the air, So those were the times. They were semi-prehistoric relative to today. There's no GPS, none of that. And so within a year and a half of our first record coming out, we're headlining Anaheim Stadium. It's with bands that had been around 15, 20 years opening for us. And within a year or two after that, there used to be something called the Gallup poll by a guy named Gallup. And they used to go around and have a sense of what's popular, the zeitgeist, what's popular among people. Kiss, 77, 78, 79, 1877. So we're the number one band on the planet. The Beatles did okay. Led Zeppelin went up and down, and the Bee Gees. But for 3 years in a row, there was so much, I don't want to be crass, so much money coming in because we put envelopes inside the albums where you can see photos of what you can buy. And in those days, they put cash in envelopes before everybody started opening mail. And we'd get $5, $10, $20, always round numbers. 24 hours a day, we had 4 warehouses in the valley that were filling up T-shirts and everything, just selling it out before there were merchandising companies and anything. And we were, as they say, hand over fist. I know it sounds like a gay reference, but it's not.
I wish.
It used to be around a long time.
When you guys were in the makeup at the height of your fame, was a part of you, did you ever think, because you got to enjoy your anonymity, it was such a one-off as far as show business goes, to be that famous and be that anonymous. And I remember as a kid, like People magazine would have, Gene Simmons steps out with Cher, and you're like, I guess, I don't know, maybe that is him, maybe it isn't. Did a part of you want to be recognized? Did you become a prisoner of the makeup?
There may have been a segment of the population when they saw the photo, is that Gene Simmons going out with Cher, or is it Richard Simmons? You just don't
that's
know.
what I thought at first.
Come on, that was a decent
It was
joke.
the Jew
But of
Fro.
course, if you're 20, you have no fucking idea what we're talking about. Because you never heard of Richard.
But did you ever feel trapped by the makeup and you wish that you were getting the accolades publicly? Or did you realize
the whole trip, the whole journey was magical beyond anything I ever imagined. I wasn't born in America, I was born in Israel, Haifa. I know I don't look Swiss, and I literally had to learn how to speak English. I already spoke a few other languages. I still do. And it's not learning the language, it's the music of the language. Because all Jojde se prožavod, on second nem tuto mitte monster, joj, ziskulem. All gokiken kakadeska tashi ajin shimonste, like every language.
Was that Gypsy? What was that last one?
So this did you speak Japanese?
No.
No, I don't either, but I'll get by. Tu es l'amour de ma vie, salope.
Je parle français aussi.
So in every language, I urge anybody, guys, straight guys mostly, to learn 2 phrases. First phrase, you're such a beautiful woman. That's the first phrase.
And je voudrais
Second
trianguler
phrase,
avec toi maintenant.
or tu es l'amour de ma vie. You're the love of my life.
Oh, I said I want to
Second
fuck your ass. That was
phrase you
weird.
must learn is, where's the bathroom? And this is the answer to why. If you don't tell a chick she's beautiful, she fucking AWOL is not going to tell you where the bathroom is.
Gene Simmons, my friends. A Gene Simmons band is touring now.
The Gene Simmons
Is that a
band
trio? Is there only 3 of you guys?
3 guys in back. There's no manager. There's no agent. Our
Paradise.
promoters rent everything. We just get on a plane. It's so simple, so much fun. Like being in a garage band where somebody's already got the equipment. We have so much fun.
GeneSimmons.com for that?
You can go to, well, if you want to get me, you can do info@genesimmons.com or genesimmons.com. But anybody knows, the people who want to do stuff, they know how to reach us. But there's also rockandbrews.com restaurants. We have 2 at LAX and across America.
That's yours?
And now
My
we have,
man.
Now we have 3 to 5 casinos.
You write a check in the bank bounce.
Casinos.
Canisos are different.
Not bad. And then there's a film company, Simmons Hamilton. Our first film is coming out shortly, I think May, called Deep Water, with Sir Ben Kingsley, Aaron Eckhart, Rennie Harlan directing.
I know one of the... Okay, we'll talk off mic.
You could tell me.
No. I don't want to out the
Then
guy.
a second one's coming right after that. We have...
I heard that's like one of the most intense things that has ever been filmed, Deep Water.
We wanted to get the thing just right, so it was filmed in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Right out, not far from Jackson's studio, where he did all the Lord of the Rings and all that. So the craftsmanship there. So we built a 747 there out of wood so that you could, I don't want to tell you what happens, but, like a roller coaster ride, you're just gripping on your seat. It's one of those. And to have Sir Ben Kingsley show up, it's like, there's so much exciting stuff. You don't have enough hours in the day.
No, I don't.
Yeah. And by the way, in December, our little band is going to be getting the Kennedy Center honors.
Oh.
The president's going to give us all that stuff.
Is that like when other bands go up and play your music? Do you
will
get to pick who?
You will be shocked at who's going to get up there and do a testimonial about being a child and then playing the music. You'll see. You'll go, what? And then I just found out today that I'll be the king of the Mardi Gras in February. So I'm the luckiest bastard who ever walked the face of the planet. I'm the son of a German Nazi concentration camp Holocaust survivor. My mother at 14 was there. I was born in Israel. But once we came to America, they're afraid.
How old were you when you came here?
I was 8 before I was 9. See, that was a joke. Did you see the? I was 8.5.
Debatable, but good.
My father, unfortunately, left us when I was about 6 or so. So it was just my mother.
What did you do to make him leave?
Very good. Very good.
You're a lot like a comic.
I'm a fucking joke?
No, like the way you react to comedy. Like that's how a comic would do. Like, it's great. Like we don't laugh. We just go like, it's great.
Yeah, you recognize what it is.
Yeah, real recognize real. I see you, Gene. And you've always been nice to me. Anytime I've ever bumped into you, it's a couple different events. You've always been just like, Jay, hello.
Can
I think
ask
you know
you
my wife,
something?
Shannon.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
The vast majority of the people, do you like Roman epics, with the short skirts? No, sorry. That's not what I was going to ask. The vast majority of people go
Yes,
to
by the
work
way.
at jobs they really don't like, just for the privilege of being able to earn a living so they can feed their families and put a roof over their heads. They go to work every day, fight traffic and everything. What the fuck do you and I have to complain about? Why can't we at least be nice? Here we are sitting on our fat asses, just shooting shit. I'm sure you're making hundreds of millions of dollars here. I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but he keeps
I don't know
following
either.
me
He just
around.
comes by and he does
But-
this.
I mean, really.
It's ridiculous.
If you're
We're in show business.
you
I went to a public school in New Jersey. Like, we thought you got pregnant by peeing in each other's butts. We were idiots. We were fucking morons. We boxed on the roof of houses to try to kill each other.
relative to the population of the planet, there are so few people that get to do the stuff they love, that connects with their childhood.
Yes.
And it's a kind of a tribe.
I'm interviewing you after listening to Love Gun at 10. You don't understand what this meant to me. I've been playing it cool, but you've always been good to me. And I know, like, my friends like Craig Gass do real funny impressions of you. And I know Jimmy Norton's nuts about you and Jeff Ross.
Gass was just in Vegas opening up, hi, it's Gene Simmons from KISS, all this stuff. Jeff Ross got his start. I remember when they were Betamax, they were videotapes.
Yeah.
And because I had Simmons Records through BMG and RCA, I signed bands. I discovered Van Halen, managed Liza Minnelli, a lot of stuff.
God, you got to come back.
And
We gotta
so
get into this.
people constantly were sending me demos. Jeff Ross's original comedy demo. Did you ever see it?
No, that's when he was Jeff Lifschultz
Right. So
the big-
he sent it with Ross.
with Kiss
big
S's.
line guns with the S's on it,
Yeah.
and he would tell a joke, and flash pods would go off.
Yeah.
That was his
He's,
demo. tape.
you are in our DNA. You're our, like, Lenny Bruce. You're our Beatles.
Oh, Lenny Bruce. It's such a shame that people don't understand. I mean, Carlin and so on. It wasn't just comedy. They were sort of cultural messiahs. They delivered us from the darkness through humor.
Yeah.
Before Carlin said, "Here are the dirty words that you can't say," motherfucker, go. Why not?
10 Commandments knocked down to 2 Commandments.
Yeah.
You could
And he
te-
starts
yeah.
making fun of it's like, but the logic of it, they're in humor, and Lenny Bruce kept getting, funny, and the kitty. The idea that a comic could get up there, before Bruce and a few of the other guys and talk about issues. Pryor would get up there and make jokes, but it's also racial commentary.
Yeah.
That's deep stuff because you couldn't get up there and, be a politician and say that because people get upset. But through humor, that's deep, deep stuff.
You're talking about the deepest guys
It's
ever. Yeah.
freeing. You can go, look, music and culture can do things that politics and religion can't. So I used to live with Diana Ross, just a grand lady.
Black lady?
Excuse me?
Black lady?
Diana Ross
Yeah,
and
all
the
right.
Supremes, yes.
Heard of her?
Yes. The height. And she told me stories, and she's still, just wonderful. She told me stories about the Supremes were bigger than the Beatles for about 2 years. Off the first album, they had 6 number one hits above the Beatles for that time. So they did a tour of the southern states.
Yeesh.
Opening was the Dave Clark Five, who were also that year bigger than the Beatles at the beginning. 64, at the beginning of the Beatles and the Ed Sullivan Show and so on. So in those days, they traveled by bus. Dick Clark's Cavalcade of Stars. And they would come into the southern state, and people would cheer. The streets would be full of people, everything. And Diana said that after they headlined,
when
everything,
the show's
they
over.
were not allowed to stay in the hotels. It's not the previous century. They had to go to something called the colored hotels.
Yep.
In the 20th century, past the 50s, past half the century mark, and on the way out, they noticed bullet holes in the buses.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. You're ready to move your business forward, but first, you need to find the right team. Start your search with Indeed-sponsored jobs. It can help you reach qualified candidates fast, ensuring your listing is the first one they see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs are 90% more likely to report a hire than non-sponsored jobs. See the results for yourself. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Nature's Bounty. Nature's Bounty believes your body is brilliant, naturally designed to thrive, inside and out. For those always looking for new ways to support your health from head to heels, Nature's Bounty has a range of over 400 vitamins and supplements born from 50 years of trust and care. Nature's Bounty. It's in your nature. Visit naturesbounty.com to learn more.
The McDonald's Snack Wrap is back. You brought it back. Ranch Snack Wrap. Spicy Snack Wrap. You broke the internet. For a snack. Snack Wrap is back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Buddy Hackett told me a story once. I forget the name of the singer. I don't know if it was like Big Joe Turner or somebody, but they were doing a show together on Broadway, and then they wouldn't let him in the hotel, the guy. And then Buddy went out the back and sat with him. The guy was just sitting down having a cigarette on like a stoop. And Buddy said, I'm really sorry they wouldn't let you in, pal. Buddy's the best, I'm really sorry they wouldn't let you in, pal.
Yeah.
And the guy says, no, it's not that. He's like, what? He goes, I can still hear the applause. Like I could still hear the applause when they wouldn't let me in.
So I'll tell you, the stories came to me as Sammy Davis Jr., who I knew used to go over to the house. He'd tell me stories and everything. Yeah, we'd sit around and the room would be filled with all kinds of people. I told
Most talented man ever live?
Oh my God! Go to YouTube and look up Sammy Davis Jr., 7 years old, tap dancing,
the
singing.
Will Maston Trio.
Have you seen that?
Will Maston Trio.
Who today can do that? Sing, dance, all that, act. So Sammy told the story, and then I looked it up, and it became clear. Sinatra, with the Rat Pack and everything else, would pack him in Vegas everywhere, and the boys obviously were big fans, and as well they should be. Everybody should be. In fact, I got close because I used to manage Liza's music career.
Love Liza.
The same team. But the point is that Sammy would headline his own shows in Vegas, and he was not allowed to stay in the hotels. Sinatra, bless him, stepped up and said to the guys, if you don't let my friend in here in the same hotel, I ain't playing your room ever again. He broke the color barrier in Las Vegas.
And Kennedy White House, when they invited Frank and those guys to the White House, Sammy was married to, was it Britt Eklund? Is that Sammy? Yeah.
Well,
and they were, the White House photographers were not allowed to shoot Sammy and her at the same time.
But there's another story.
It's ridiculous.
And I don't want to verify it or not. Vanity Fair seems to think it's real. And Sammy and I never talked about it. Sammy converted to Judaism at a certain point, which was very difficult because the rabbi would talk you out of it. You don't have to be Jewish. You'll be judged by what you do. Who you worship does, or even if you don't worship, it doesn't matter. Sammy was not born with one eye. He had two eyes. Yes. He used to have a secret relationship with the sex bomb of them all, Kim Novak.
I didn't know this.
Look it up and Schmootube.
Look it up on YouTube.
So Kim and Sammy were having this secret relationship, and Sammy, when he was playing Vegas, Kim would secretly come in, disguise herself so that they could be together. The boys did not like that. And I don't want to make up stories. This is what I heard and read with people, let's say they were close to it. The boys didn't like that and said, we don't want you to continue doing this because you're playing our hotels. As you know, there was the color barrier. And he continued. And there's a story about a trip out to the desert, reportedly, hypothetically, and Sammy had an accident and lost an eye. And then he stopped going out with Basinger.
In his own book, he just says it's a car accident.
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Where,
Can't
in the
confirm or
desert
deny,
in Las Vegas? Was that where the car accident was?
Not a lot of things to hit.
A lot of traffic there. And, well, I mean, what's he going to say? Bless him. He was such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
But if you take a look at, it wasn't Britt Eklund, it was My Britt.
My Britt.
Britt Eklund was Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
My Britt, also blonde, Swedish, very, white, pale.
Don't take pictures of them
and
standing
they were
next to each other.
Later, he finally married Altovis, his wife, who was, I think, a dancer originally in the show.
Was she also white?
No. Oh. But, finally, towards the end of his life. Um, they say they don't make him like that.
They don't.
They don't.
You know those classic recordings, Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr. live at the Cafe Villa Venice. I saw the kinescopes from the beginning of that tour at the Museum of Television. Frank was on last because it was Frank's big. It was like a benefit to a halfway house in St. Louis. Frank couldn't follow Sammy, so they switched the orders. It's Dean, Frank, then Sammy on the recording.
Imagine somebody who could come out, do comedy, act.
Impressions
Impressions
of the guys
tap
going on
dance
after him.
your head off.
Which way is the stage, Pally?
Started at 7 years of
Yeah.
age. He could sing.
How
There's
tall?
nothing he
Itty
couldn't
bitty
do.
guy, right?
5'4", 5'5".
Post for bowling trophies.
But big things come in little packages. Anyway,
gang.
no, it goes further. So you can go on YouTube and stuff. Sammy Davis Jr. Tap dancing. He's
Yeah.
being honored
Yeah.
by, oh God, the two brothers that didn't get along. One of them starred with Nureyev in a movie called White Nights. Oh God, what's his name? What is it? Gregory Hines. Gregory Hines, one of the greats tap dancing. So were his brother. They didn't get along. And Sammy is being honored, and Gregory's on stage, and Sammy goes and walks up on stage with Hines, and he shows the young man how the boss does it, and Hines is just going like that.
I've seen that, yeah.
Just beyond. So who can do that today? By the way, when Sammy went on...
I love his Tony Bennett impression. He does great
Oh,
impressions.
great. Sammy goes on The Tonight Show, and because he used to have Ed Shaughnessy band, they used to have a big band, and they had a separate drum kit for somebody. So instead of coming over to Johnny, Sammy jumped on the drums. He could play piano. He
Yeah.
could play anything. And you see him Buddy Rich's way through everything. Just giant talents like that.
You know who could play drums that surprised me? Was Mel Torme.
Mel Torme?
He's a great drummer.
I used to go out with his daughter.
Whose daughter have you not fucked? Ladies and gentlemen, this started with me being in reverence of Kiss Love Gun at 10 years old, and now I'm sitting here with my buddy, and Birdie has a brand new... Birdie looks like she's been in orbit. Look at her. Her eyes are bugged out. She's
It's
so
because I smell like her asshole. That's what it is.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Thank you for coming by, Gene. Please say hi to Shannon and the kids. For me personally, I'm a fan of your family. You're doing it right.
You're very kind, but if it wasn't for Shannon, who stuck
You'd
by
have
my
AIDS.
sorry ass for 42 years, and for the first 29 years, I would certainly have gone down. It's easy for guys
You're preaching
to
to
go
the choir,
into
dude.
darkness. Yeah.
My wife was at my intervention. It was in this room.
We think, we grow up, where are you going? Where am I going? Bitch, who wants to know? There's that sort of, because you're trained that way.
I still say that to her.
You want to, I wouldn't say that. What I say to Shannon when I wake up
you
is,
imagine?
I'm sorry. And then the rest of the day goes better. But if we train ourselves to be champions and compete all the other guys and all that stuff, and we make the decisions and I'll live or die kind of thing, and you don't know everything and you're going to make stupid mistakes. Thank God I didn't go down with drugs, alcohol, and stuff because of my mother. I never wanted to break her heart. It's the only reason I didn't do that, because I'm an addictive personality. I love power and stuff. I never, I make a good living, but every day I'm pounding the pavement. I'm doing more deals and stuff to make more money. More money! Every day. And, the champions do that. Elon and Bezos, they get up every day, and especially Buffett, every day they go pound there, because we can't give birth. All we can do is pull the wagon. What's our purpose?
You know that expression, let us love you until you love yourself? I feel like our wives are the best examples of that. Like, they saw something in us that we didn't even see.
That's right.
Like, I always said, like, my wife, a bad neighborhood, it's dark at night, it's a shitty storefront, it's a toy store, and the windows are broken out, and way in the back there's a bike with flat tires, and she's like, no, I'm gonna wait for that one to be. That was, I'm the broken bike. And so listen, time to go. I don't want it to end. I'm so happy you're here, Gene. Thank you.
Mohr, I don't care what they say. You're a powerful and attractive man.
Go on. Yes, sir.
Before you go,
I'm straight, so okay.
it might be too fresh, but we
No, it's fine.
Where were you when you heard Ace had passed?
I was here in California, and I got a text from Gigi, Peter Chris's wife, that Ace had passed. He fell down the stairs, apparently the second time, and they couldn't. The short story is the hospital said he has to go. The family fought to keep him alive, but he didn't last long. So Peter Criss, Paul Stanley, and myself went and flew to the wake and then the funeral. But I will tell you that no matter how emotional it was, the open casket was just too much. I just had to put my head down because he was right in front of, like we were right there, and Ace looked like he was going, "Oh, just kidding," and get up and always be the fun guy he was. No matter what, families have quabbles. Sometimes they don't agree on stuff. Sometimes they don't talk to each other. But family is forever. And without Ace, and certainly without Peter, Kiss wouldn't have happened. There's that chemistry thing, despite the fact that they were in and out of the band 3 separate times. What I can say about Ace, whether you like it or not, is almost every guitar player out there grew up playing his licks. Kirk Hammett from Metallica and Mike McGrady literally copied his solo note for note. Note for note. He told me. I said, "Yeah, that's note. Yeah, I took note for note." And Nine Inch Nails. You name the bands, they all grew. I've got a photo of Lenny Kravitz at 13 being thrown out of school for wearing Kiss makeup at 13. But what I'm getting at is, despite the fame and the glory and the money and the chick, like all that stuff, there was something inside of Ace. Originally, it was alcohol. He just couldn't stop. We all tried. And then it went on to this stuff and some of the heavier stuff. And it was just, in and out of it, back and forth. And then he finally passed, younger than I am. And maybe the only thing you can say is he lived his life his way, all the way to the end. And people tried to either change him, but he was always Ace. And that's the way he chose to live his life. The saddest part of all for me, other than his passing, is we're about to be honored by the president of the country, and we're going to have a seat right between us that's going to be empty. And hopefully Ace is going to be looking at, wow, we did some cool stuff, right? Didn't we? He should have at least stayed alive just that long, to be there with his family and stuff.
That blows.
It's heartbreaking. What are you going to do?
Was that a call that you were kind of in the back of your mind expecting for a long time?
Yes.
Yeah.
When you witness, not see, when you're in the company, when you witness self-destructive behavior, you start to imagine. I mean, there were so many car wrecks, so many, let's just say, lesser people would have died.
Did you guys have interventions for Ace?
Did we what?
Ever have an intervention? Several?
In those days, it was unheard of.
Yeah.
And once he was out of the band the third time, there were times when he'd move around to different states, different phone numbers, different girlfriends, and it was just the separate. But we'd talk. Every once in a while, we'd get on, hey, remember that time and everything. What are you going to do? But, fables, we were 4 knuckleheads off the streets of New York without a resume, no expertise, no experience. who had this bizarre notion of putting together a band that we'd never seen before. Why can't you be on stage and spit fire or have rockets come out of your guitars or fly through the air, which had nothing to do with blues or rockabilly or anything? Yeah, let's write some songs, but if the song is called Firehouse, how come we just have to sing, "Get the fire, 'cause she sets my soul on fire"? Why can't we spit fire? No other band, like, it's nuts. And then you have a song called God of Thunder. I'm going to fly up to the top of the light truss at 9 feet a second and throw up blood there and then do that with no fucking safety net, show after show for decade after decade. You know, hindsight's 20/20. I look back and say, you guys are out of your fucking minds. You don't have to do that. Just sing the songs. No, I remember as a kid going to see Sly and the Family Stone and Lovin' Spoonful and loved it. And often, you know, if somebody talked to me, I'd turn my head. No, how about a band where you don't want to turn your head because you might miss something? We had never had fights of any kind anywhere in half a century. First of all, we played too loud if somebody's a drunk asshole and says
fights
something
in the crowd.
Fights in the crowd.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever been taken out.
It's such a celebration at Kiss
nobody
concert.
ever got hurt in the crowds.
Yeah.
Nothing. But you go to other concerts, people get shot and tossed, they fight. It's not interesting enough on stage. So we had this kind of singularity, this moment of, wait a minute, they're going to come hear the songs, but they're bringing their eyes. Give them something audio-visual. Give them something to look at.
Was there any Kiss makeup that did make the cut? Like any rejected Kiss makeup ideas?
Strangely, the very first time we tried, for no reason, nobody can remember who thought of it or anything, we went down to like Woolworths or something. Somebody came in, hey, let's go buy some makeup. Okay. And we went down to like the clown section, Stein's Clown White. Paul Stanley got red rouge lipstick. I don't know why the fuck.
Well, all right.
Yeah,
So
I don't know
Paul.
why. And we all got eyeliner and stuff like that. He just caught up with me. And we got some mirrors and we put them against the wall. And of course they warped because they were cheap and they were taller than what.
Yeah.
And so when you get closer to it, you know, the nose got really bigger because we're Jewish and air is free. So why not? See, these are quick. You got the visuals. And I will tell you without hesitation, each of us off on our own came up with those designs. I don't know.
First time out the gate.
Yeah.
So when Eric
Very-
Carr comes
very
in,
close.
why not just let him do the cat whiskers? Why come up with the
Eventually we did.
Yeah.
Eventually we did go back to the cat.
It's not
And-
like Peter Criss didn't own the cat whiskers. If I know you,
we
right.
owned it.
Yeah.
Trademark. We bought it for
It's like just
$50,000.
plugging in a new Darren on Bewitched. Like, come on.
Good point, Dick York. But based on Bell Book and Candle with Kim Novak,
We're back.
not bad, and James. But the point I was making is that initially once you put your mind to trying to create something that happened naturally, it becomes skewed or warped. So when the band was first put together, it's like Gestalt therapy, just, kind of like kids playing in mud, or if you shit in the bathtub, you just started taking your shit, which I know you did that,
Yeah,
and
doing it
start
right now.
doing imagery on the wall, which is supposed to be pure art, by the way, before you it's just pure expression, whether it's mud or anything else. And by the way, I had my mind, there was a image of me made out of shit, and they petrified it, and it hung in a museum.
Which museum was that?
I'll get you the info. I guess in a
is it on
real way, it's
YouTube?
a shithead kind of because it was my head. With
So
the
Eric
shit.
Carr comes in, he becomes the fox. But was there a discussion about him keeping the whiskers for the cat?
No, not initially.
Was that out of respect to Peter?
No, not initially. It was, you're a new guy. Let's get your own persona. Originally, it was going to be a hawk, kind of like Indians with totems.
Yeah, yeah.
But, the beak thing just didn't work. So how about a Fox kind of a thing? Did that. We tried it for a short time. The problem with it was that the person wearing the makeup wasn't connected to it. What I mean by that is if I wore Paul Stanley's makeup, red lipstick on me,
Well, all right.
not so much.
No.
So something,
Depends on where the red lipstick is, to be fair.
well, not publicly, but something about you should connect to the persona because it's not a costume.
Hmm. Thank you for telling us that, man. Fuck yeah. Do you have a favorite Kiss song? If you can only pick one. God says, or thou who shalt not be named says, just give me one that you're proud of. You hit him with.
I'll pick Deuce, which just coincidentally I happened to write, and only because
You're going to get fucking copyright money when you play it for God.
and Lenny Kravitz did a good
What
version
a
of it.
schnorr.
And only because one of the reasons is we started so many tours with that song. So a song isn't just a song; it's about who you were with,
Yeah.
what happened. So it's kind of like a soundtrack of your life
Yeah.
or what happened there. A song is never just a song, which is why people have our song to get married and so on.
If you had a time machine, would you take Crimson and Clover off of Love Gun by Paul?
Well, I know Tommy James, and
It's so,
on VJ Records.
it's so incongruous in the whole album.
Oh, we know everybody.
No, just him doing Crimson and Clover is just so like, wait, what?
Well,
I never fast forward it, but
how about Nazareth, Love Hurts, which was their big hit? That's the Everly Brothers.
Oh yeah. You know, what blew my mind cover wise was when I realized "How Can You Mend a Broken Heart" by Al Green is the Bee Gees, and then when I listened to the Bee Gees version, it's just like sounds like the Muppets because Robin's like, "When I think I'm young."
But they did pretty good. I'll tell you a quick story about Barry. We're playing a few days.
Underrated?
Barry Gibb.
Underrated.
He wrote entire albums for Grease.
We agree.
Barbara
We agree.
Streisand. And
We agree.
Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers. There's nothing he couldn't do.
I don't think people realize that he's
God. A monster talent. And mid-career, they changed their sound. They were kind of a Beatlesque 4-part harmony kind of thing. And then falsetto.
Yeah.
Who does that? They upped.
Jagger tried it in Tattoo You.
Pardon?
Jagger tried it. Come to you.
Exactly like that. But
if it wasn't for the bass, we would have laughed him out of the building. But that dunk, dunk, dunk.
You know, he's right. That's right. That bassist.
The bass is so. They played that shit in discos. It was just so hot.
So we're in Florida playing the shows, and I get a phone call at the hotel. Hi, James, Barry Gibb. Oh, hi, Barry. How you doing? Hey, listen, my son's torturing me. Can I bring him to the show? Sure. Which day you want to go to and all that? And he came to the show. Then he cornered me backstage. You've got a day off tomorrow. You got to come over to the house.
Yeah.
And I go, well, it's a day off. I want to lounge around chicks. He goes, no, you got to come over. I've got a 12-year-old son, Steve, whose room is plastered with Kiss. Right over his bed is this big thing of you drooling blood. That's the last thing he sees when he goes to sleep. Could care less about the Bee Gees. So I went over to the house, and
that's great.
How would you like that?
Steve Gibb. Who knew?
By the way, same thing happened to Ringo. I'll tell you a quick story.
Yeah, please.
Of course. So in the Cher days, used to have these roller skating parties. They'd take over, before you guys were born, there used to be disco roller skating. They'd take over a thing.
Wheels USA, Wayne, New Jersey. Come on, I know all about it.
Yeah. Nowadays, they don't have that.
No.
And so because it's Cher, everybody shows up. Ursula Andress and stuff. And Ringo was there. Everybody's there. I was there because I was.
No, did you fuck Ursula Andress?
Who? Cher?
Did you fuck Ursula Andress?
Ursula Andress?
That's
So anyway, we were all there.
Okay.
Or as we used to call her, Ursula Andress.
Mm.
So,
oh, what a woman.
We're Clash of the Titans.
My wife's going to get a beating tonight.
So we're all there, and I can't skate. Jews on skates. That's not a good idea.
Good.
No.
No.
So it was like there was a shelf, like where the bowling pins were. So my legs are dangling, and I'm just watching everybody roller skating around. And off to my left, somebody said, hey, there's some teenagers coming over wearing Kiss glitter T-shirts. So I get up to greet them. Two teenagers, come up. And one of them says with a slight English accent, he's going, I'm such a big fan and everything. And his friend says, yeah. And as they're talking, in between them, I see Ringo coming towards, and I start having heart palpitations. The Beatles come, and Ringo comes up and puts his arms around the boys. And I hope me boys aren't. I wanted to slap the faces. You're talking to me, and your dad's a Beatle? Are you on crack? Yeah.
The king of swing.
What the fuck? I've got one of my birthdays. We had a bowling alley because I love bowling.
That's just a dad.
And on the screen, there was everybody you could meet, musicians. And then Ringo comes on and goes, happy birthday, Gene, and all that stuff. Oh. But this is full circle that you're talking about. Salmon going back to their breeding. You may have a point of view about as a kid and coming here. For me, watching the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show, and for then Ringo to wish me a happy birthday and to hang around. There was even, we were at Eric Gardner's house, who used to manage Ringo, and it was a party and everybody was there. And I'm off in the corner with Shannon, and I'm eating salad because I got to watch my girlish figure. And Ringo starts coming over. And I don't know what to do with myself, and I'm kind of a big guy, and Ringo's not. So I gave the tray of salad with it, and I picked up Ringo. I swear to you, I picked up Ringo like a hand puppet and picked him off the ground, and his face is right here. I'm going, Ringo, and I'm smiling like an idiot, like that and stuff. He goes, would you put me down, please? So I put him down, and he, yeah, it's good seeing you. And my thing, I'm saying stupid things, and Shannon said, there's a fucking growth, a salad thing coming the whole time. Yeah.
Oh, Gene. Oh, no.
Yeah. But I held Ringo.
Next time I see Ringo, if I see him, I'm just going to pick him up and say that was from Gene Simmons.
Yeah, his feet were like,
Yeah. Hope you had a good time. I love the stories. And I want to get into, I hope you can come back one day. We get into like you, Van Halen, and especially
I do want to
Liza.
leave a note to all of you out there. If you ever meet anybody of note, a sports person or a acting person or a comedian or a rocker or a rapper and stuff, and they're assholes to you, don't let them get away with it, because we have the life that we dreamed about that came true. There's no excuse for anybody in a privileged area to be unkind to their bosses, which is you, because without you, that asshole would be asking the next person in line, would you like some fries with that? So
That's right.
Don't let them get away with it.
Yeah, headbutt their face. Violence. More stories. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Gene.
Jay Mohr's my uncle.